Yo, what's up, everybody? This is episode 49 from the Anything Goes podcast, a special Saturday edition. Of course, I'm Travis Bethea. I hope y'all been enjoying everything that I've been presenting to you the last couple weeks. You know, we slowed up on dropping the episodes weekly just because I wanted to venture off into other things that we talked about, but I didn't tell y'all what they were. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode from the Legends of the Fall series that I started with Jed Bonds. We have the second episode that's going to drop next week. I'm not going to tell y'all who it was, who the person was that I interviewed, but y'all will love it and y'all are going to enjoy it. I hope everybody's doing okay. Of course, we got to make sure that we're keeping our mental on point, especially with what we're going through now as black people. You know, this is for everybody, but I got to talk to my people directly. So it's a lot of murder going on, a lot of shootings, a lot of death in general. So make sure that you're doing what you have to do to keep yourself intact. Go outside, walk around, ride a bike, talk to somebody. Don't sit and let things fester, because we do at times put things to the back burner that we need to address as soon as possible. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. I'm taking care of myself, and I want my friends and all of my family to be okay. And y'all are just that, friends and family. So I have someone in today, and I told him, I hit him up last week during the week, and I said, bro, look, I got to get you on episode 49 or I'm not going to put out another podcast episode. That's legit. And he said, bro, I got you. So we made it happen, man. I have Tony Goolsby with me. And if you see his shirt, he has the Building Wealth Academy. And y'all will see me shout him out probably more than anybody else because of what he's doing. The Building Wealth Academy is teaching people how to invest, teaching people about the stock market. You're not going to know what he's talking about at first, but that's why you listen and you learn, because he breaks it down to you perfectly. So, Tony, welcome, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Before we get started, bro, I just want to tell you that you own to something, bro, and just keep it going, bro. I see it.
Appreciate it.
I see the reaction. I see the feedback. I see you grinding, bro. Just keep at it, bro.
I appreciate that for real. I do, man. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's our time. If y'all don't see that, if you don't feel the energy shifting in our favor, something wrong with you. So everybody out there, keep grinding, keep chomping away at it bit by bit. It's gonna happen. We're gonna be all right. But I do appreciate that, bro. And this going back to 1999. Way back. So, you know what I'm saying? It's good to see the people you came through the ranks with. Band, trumpets. We don't know what we doing, but we doing something, you feel me? So, man, you've been doing the stock market. You've been investing money, bro. Like, how did you get started with this?
So, bro, I always tell a story, man. Story always sound crazy because I was at a time in my life, brother, where, and I always been trying to find other ways to make money, right?
Right.
I was at a time in my life I was trying to find other streams of income. So one night I had a dream about the stock market. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I had a dream about the stock market. That next day, I got online and started researching the stock market.
Cool.
That was about 7-8 years ago. And from that day on, I've just been learning, year over year, trying to find a strategy that worked for me.
Gotcha.
And that's how I got into it. When I first got into it, I was day trading. And that's what a lot of people, they are enthused by day trading because you can make the most money day trading.
All right.
But you can also lose the most money day trading.
Gotcha.
Because it's not the best strategy, man. Trading in the market is very difficult. Mm-hmm. But I was looking for the quick way to make some money. So that's why day trading just caught me. But then I lost a lot of money, and I'm like, well, this ain't working. So I gotta
Right.
find another way to do it, but I want to do it in the stock market because I know when you invest in the stock market, you get a lot of your time back. Your money is just working for you. So I started reading books, and I started listening a lot to Warren Buffett, and he always talk about long-term investment and how do you find value in companies, and that's what I started studying. I started doing long-term positions in the stock market on companies that were proven, and I started making money. I'm like, okay, so this is the way.
Gotcha.
This is how you make money, bro. So at first I started, because you got two different ways that you can do analysis on the stock market.
Right.
You know, they call technical analysis, to where you read in charts, patterns, candlesticks. That's what a lot of day traders do. Then you got the fundamentals. How much money is the company making? How much are they grossing with profit? How much are they bringing in with revenue? And that's the foundation of the company. Like, what are they built of? Who are managing the companies? So then I put those two together, and I can have my long-term positions, and I can trade at the same time. And that's what changed the game for me.
Now, everybody listening and watching, y'all see how he was able to talk about this without looking at anything. That lets you know he well versed in it. So you talk about the long-term investing. When I reached out to you years ago about this, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna give my boy a stack. He gonna invest it, and next year I'm gonna be able to pull out $10,000. I'm good. That ain't it, right?
That ain't it.
All right. So I was looking more so at day trading and didn't even realize it.
The quick way.
The quick money. But you say that's for you. That's not the
That's
way.
not the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you got people who can make money in it, but you got people with a lot of capital. So say if you have $100,000 to invest in the stock market, but you make 10% in a week, you made $10,000, but you had $100,000.
Right.
Different than going in there with $1,000 and making 10%. That's $100. So a lot of people look at that like they don't want that $100. But that's actually the way, is getting those small gains and it compounding. Because once you make, say if you put in $1,000, you make 10%, it's $100. The next week you got $1,100 instead of $1,000.
Right.
You make more. The next week you got $1,200. So it's all compounding. So those small gains really add up. And then when you invest in the companies that are proven, your Apples, your Amazons, your Facebooks, your Walmarts, they're making money hand over fist, you're not gonna lose. These are proven companies, bro. Apple is taking the world to new levels, man. With the iPhone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are companies that are gonna be here for years and years and years. Why not put your money in them?
So people, let me use myself. I used to look at it like, okay, I need to find that next startup. Put my money in there when it's cheap, you know what I'm saying? Buy a bunch of shares, and then boom, we winning like the people who invested in Google.
Yeah.
That's the wrong mentality. You told me that. You said go proven because they're going to always make money.
That's the wrong mentality for us though.
Okay.
Me and you, because I don't have $100,000 to put in an IPO
Gotcha.
to see if it's gonna work or not. I ain't got that. You get a bunch of millionaires. They can do that. They can put money in Uber before Uber even start because
Makes
of the
sense.
idea.
Yeah.
And that's how they go crazy, because when Uber does good, they make their money. But me and you, we need the companies that's already proven. We need the companies that we know is gonna bring us back a return. So that's why we go with the big companies.
Right.
And we go long term. We just keep building, keep building, keep building.
Now, I was watching one of your videos when you started the Academy on Facebook, and you started posting the videos.
First group.
Yeah. Now, something that you said caught my attention. You were like, you can try to catch these established companies when they're down,
Yes.
and then you buy in, and you'll pretty much be set because you got it at that price. It's intimidating for people that I talk to, at least. They're like, man, it costs so much money to buy shares. I don't just want to buy one. Would you tell people like, look, if you got $50 laying around and this stock is going for 50, would you tell them to put into it, or would you tell them to wait?
This is a gem right here. I'm gonna drop a gem.
Okay, we need that.
You have something now. You have brokers that offer what they call fractional shares, right? So
Yep.
before, years ago, if you wanted to buy a share of Amazon right now, that's probably what, $3,000, I think, a share. You had to spend that whole $3,000. Now with fractional shares, you can invest $100 in Amazon, and if Amazon make a 30% return that year, you make 30% off your $100.
Cool.
That was the game changer for me personally.
Yeah.
For me to be able to invest in the big companies without having a lot of capital, that's what changed the game for me, the fractional shares.
And how long have they been doing the fractions?
About 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yeah.
So do you think now is like the perfect time for people
to? I mean, we didn't know the pandemic was coming.
Yeah. Yep.
This is
Right.
really my first, I guess you can call it recession, that I've actually been investing in the stock market. The last one was 2008.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about no stock market back then.
Right. We fresh out of school.
Right. This was the first one that actually went through where I was investing money. And I seen what all of the gurus talk about. It's like when companies go down, that's the perfect time to buy. Because during this recession, Apple went down, Amazon went down. Not because they were bad companies, just because what was going on in the world.
Fear.
When people are fearful,
Yeah.
they start pulling their money out. But for investors, that's the perfect time to go in and buy. And that's what I did. I had the opportunity to be able to go in and buy Apple when it went down to $100.
If you don't mind me asking, how many shares did you
Oh, I'm loaded up on Apple.
load it up?
Apple is probably 20% of my portfolio. I only got 6 positions in my portfolio.
And that take up
And Apple is probably 20%.
Cool.
I'm real tech heavy.
smart. So would you advise people to go into the tech realm?
It's illegal to advise because I don't have a license
Got you.
as an advisor. But as a suggestion, if it was me, I put all my money in Apple if I was trying to invest in the stock market. If I was just getting started, I would put all my money in Apple.
Now you said something that caught me as well, cause I be listening to you, bro, all the time. You like, look, put money in your savings account, but also invest money, cause you're gonna make more. Your money's gonna make more with the investment than it is with your savings. With people who are new to the game and they're like, no, I'm gonna just put all my money here, it's safe. Will you explain to them like, look, a bank can fail too. You know what I'm saying? Like your money's secured up to a point, but you know, I know it's taking a risk to invest, but you're getting more back. You know what I'm saying?
With the banks and the savings account, the inflation every year is about 1.5%, right?
Right. Yeah.
Every year. That's the inflation of the dollar. So the dollar is losing value at 1.5%. The bank gives you 0.001% off of every dollar you got invested that year, for that year. So when you have your money invested in a savings account, your money is depreciating.
Jewel.
It's depreciating. So why not have your money, even if you went the safer route, what they call safe, low risk, and put your money in some type of ETF or a bond, you can still make 3 or 4% off your money rather than just having it sitting in a savings account. But with me, I'm aggressive. If the stock market was in any indication of how the government is going to protect the stock market, this was all you needed to see. The stock market failed because people with pulling money out.
Yeah.
They pump money back into the stock market. The stock market is a big piece of the economy that make the economy operate. They're gonna protect it, bro.
They don't want to see it.
They don't
crash.
want. It's not gonna crash. So why not have your money where they got their money? I'm not putting my money in the. I'm having. When it comes to a savings account, I got an emergency savings account, which
Gotcha.
is a couple months or 6 months, a year bills, whatever you feel comfortable with. That's all. Everything else is working for me.
Working while you sleep.
Right.
Working when you ain't working.
Yeah.
So, black people now, we seeing more and more now. More black people are wanting to learn about investing and wanting to, make money. But I think going back to what we're saying, I think a lot of people are looking at it like a quick flip, and that ain't it. When you talk to investors, when people come at you, do you break it down to them like, look, let this sit for 10 years. Like, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Check up on it, but know that this might be a 10-year investment. You know what I'm saying? And what is the response that you usually get from people?
Yeah, I would tell them that. And it's just not. I also tell them, like, you just can't put $1,000 in the stock market and in 10 years expect to be rich. I like to call it reoccurring. You know how you got reoccurring payments?
Mm-hmm.
Your cell phone, if you got it hooked to your debit card or your bank account, they take it out every month. It's reoccurring.
Yeah, they're automatic.
Make reoccurring investments. So set up a budget, determine how much money you can invest a month, and you invest every single month. The more money you invest, the more money you get back. But with a lot of people, when I talk to them about it, and it's even like a lot of family members, it ain't quick, so they don't want it. But then I try to tell them, and I try to explain to them my definition of financial freedom, and that is building a portfolio to where I can live off the interest of my portfolio without having to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got $500,000 in my portfolio, I'm making 30% a year. It's $150,000. I can pay myself $100,000 and still put $50,000 back into the portfolio so we can still keep building.
Yeah.
But they don't. A lot of people don't see it that way. But the goal is to be able to live off your investments.
Live off interest, basically.
Right. So then when you're living off your investments, it's not the hustle every day. You got more time to think. You got more time to spend with your family. You have your time back. That's my whole goal, is having my time. So I'll make those investments so that I can live the way that I want to live.
Right. I think, and this is just my 2 cents, people get it misconstrued when they talk about wealth and being rich, or, you know what I'm saying, just having a large sum of money. The goal is time, people. Like, your time is more valuable than anything.
Most valuable asset.
Right. We can't get any of the 8 hours back that we've put into these companies, any of the 80 plus hours. So when you have people that's showing you a way to get out of that mind frame, because ageism is real. We all think like, man, we 30, we getting old, you know what I'm saying, 40 years old. You gotta stop thinking like that, or you're not gonna ever take a risk. Putting money into something that's going to potentially pay you over the long haul, bruh, I want to hear all about it. You know what I'm saying?
So look, you put it like this. That's how I try to explain to people, right? Because a lot of people feel like they don't have the money left over to invest in the stock market and just let it sit there. When I tell people, say you buy a pair of Jordans a month. A pair of Jordans is what, $200 at least?
Yeah, about $200
$200
on
at
average.
least. That's $2,000 a year. If you put that same $200 in every month in the stock market, in 25 years, you will be a millionaire. Guaranteed.
Y'all see that?
You will be a millionaire.
I believe that.
So, in 25 years, I'm 32. I'll be 57 in 25 years. I got $1 million. Now I have $1 million. I'm making 30% off of that million. I'm making $300,000 a year just off my investment. That's my definition of financial freedom. I can sleep a month and still make money.
Be straight.
Be straight.
Now, we gonna bring this all in. It's gonna be a well-rounded conversation because I believe that ownership and financial freedom will liberate black people. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thing. How do you feel about that? Black people getting ahead, you know what I'm saying? Actually having some type of political influence. I think we can do that through investments, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can do that through investments, but I think and I can only talk with my people, black people, it's really about education and information. I think a lot of times what holds us back is not being educated in certain things or certain areas. And the information is there, but we don't go to look for the information.
You want somebody to give it to you.
Somebody to give us the information. Or we don't even care about having the information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Information is so valuable, bro. It's so valuable. And then when you talk about politics, it's like we're living in somebody else's system.
Definitely.
And well, if we want to create our own system, we have to be educated on how to do that, what it takes to do that. Because they built a system that we depend on. So in order for us to move out of that system, we have to create our own system.
Right.
That favors us, that work for us.
And that's what investing will do. It'll give you the money for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But not only investing, it's about having good credit, having good relationships with the bank that you can go pull capital out of to invest. You know, my ultimate goal is to be able to find people who has passion and a vision, but struggling with capital, and be able to give them the capital that they need without having to go to a bank and get denied. I can give them the capital. We can partner.
Right.
And we can work together to get your vision off the ground.
That's smart as hell. And I'm glad you said that. So that is a goal of yours.
Yeah, it's a goal. That's my ultimate goal.
Gotcha.
I don't want to be the one running the corporation. I'm just be honest. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to deal with HR. I don't want to have to deal with all the bullshit that comes with that. But with somebody with a passion, they got a passion for what they want to do. They gonna bust they ass to do it.
Yeah.
They just don't have the capital. I want to be able to come in and say, hey, I can give you the capital. Let's partner up, and then let's make this thing work.
So I'm feeling like you broke the code, you know what I'm saying, as far as these people having 400 years on us. You know what I'm saying? Wealth that goes back to slavery, you know, that they've passed down. I feel like we're the generation to be like, yeah, you know, you can be a rapper, you can get millions, you can be an athlete and get millions, but how are you making the money work for yourself and for your people? That's a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Like with that thought process of being your own bank, basically.
Your own bank, bro.
Right. That's crazy.
How you doing?
Yeah. Bro, I think this is dope as hell. The ownership part, you know what I'm saying, and the financial gains that you've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you're looking at every day, every time you check the stock market. When you see people spending money just on BS, how did you get yourself to the point where it was like, look, I ain't finna be doing that. Let me get disciplined and start putting this money into this market?
That's a good question, bro. I started making more and more money, right?
Right.
So as I was making more and more money, I was spending more and more money. So I just sat back like, bro, I'm making this amount of money. And I'm making money that I used to sit in the bed and think about, like, man, if I had this, I'd do this. But I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. So after a while, I'm like, man, I gotta make some changes.
Facts.
I had an addiction, and it's called a spending addiction. Like, you just spend money just because you have the money. You just spend it. And we, a lot of times we are emotionally attached to money. So if we sad, we want to spend money to make us happy. If we happy, we want to spend money to celebrate. Like, we are emotionally attached to money, bro.
It controls.
It controls us. So I had to break myself away from that and just detaching myself from money, man. And then sitting back, because the more money I made, I go out and try to buy a nicer car. I got a higher car payment. The more money I made, I go out and try to rent a bigger house. Never living in a big ass house, we paying $1,300 a month for, $1,400 a month for. It's like you sitting back and you like, bro, do you really need it? And what is this doing? This is not adding no value to my life. Neither one of them things. So I had to detach myself away from all of that and be like, bro, what do you really want? And I really want financial freedom. So what is it gonna take for you to get there? So I just had to sit back and have that conversation with myself, like, you making too much money to be living paycheck to paycheck still. Yeah, you got all this stuff, but in 10 years, what have you created or what seeds have you planted that you can replenish then or harvest then? Nothing.
Now, now I know you said you had to detach yourself emotionally away from money. Did it take you a while to get to that point?
It did, bro.
Okay.
It did, because a lot of times, like, everybody want luxurious things,
Of
right?
course.
We all want it.
Yeah.
I want it. Even right now, I'm living, like, I wouldn't call it a minute, what is it?
Modest.
Yeah.
Modest life. Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? I want those things, but I'm not going to purchase those things before I can afford those things. The difference. I'll purchase them when I can afford them.
I like that.
I'm not gonna do it before I can afford it, because then I'm doing a disservice to myself. Because I'm sitting in a big house, I'm driving a fancy car, but I'm struggling.
Right. For nothing.
For nothing, bro.
To make people.
Think you look like you got it.
Yeah.
You know? Nah, man. I ain't doing that no more.
I feel that. And I think all of us need to think like that. Bro, because I swear we be doing some crazy shit with money. Because I always tell myself, I'm like, man, that first M, I'm going to take 100 and we going to go crazy. I always say that. Talking to you make me like, nah, don't take 100 and go crazy with it.
Yeah. Because look, bro, you can take that same 100,000 that you was finna go crazy with. I ain't gonna say don't enjoy yourself, bro, because that'll be, we have to enjoy ourselves. We have to live life, but only when we can afford it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can take that same 100,000, and you can make 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 off that same 100,000 a year. Do that first, and then enjoy yourself with that interest. Because that 100,000 will always be there.
Yeah.
But now you're making 30, 40%, you're making 30, 40,000 a year off of that 100,000. Enjoy yourself with that.
Right.
That's free money, is what I call it.
Yeah, your money just made money for you.
That's your free money.
Now, with the stock market, do you advise people to pull money out early? Or like if they, let's just say, the plumbing on the house mess up and they ain't really trying to give you all the money from your, homeowner's insurance to fix it. Can they go get that money or?
Oh yeah. You mean yeah, they can go get it.
But would you advise them to?
I can't advise.
Oh well, yeah, my fault. Let me stop saying that. My fault.
That's how I can advise.
Yeah.
But that's what your emergency account is for.
The money you said put in the savings. Okay.
That's your emergency account. So that stock money, you don't want to pull that out. That's, for me personally, that's generational.
Yeah.
So I want my kids, you know what I'm saying, when they turn 18, I want to be able to put them a certain amount of money to where they can live off the interest from their portfolio, and you do what you love, and then you teach it on to your kids. Don't be out here working jobs that you don't want to work because you need money. Focus on what you love, do what you love. You got this over here, but just be happy, do what you love, and just keep teaching it. Because we got it here. I made the sacrifice. I did it for the generations. So that's the goal.
That's dope as hell. And you breaking it down like that is dope as well. Now, is the money penalized if they do go? Like, is it?
That's tax.
It's tax,
No
okay.
regular tax, but then, like I said, we always have our home-based businesses in place to where if they do tax the money, we have deductions, so we pay less on our tax bill.
Now, we talked off camera about that. Give them a rundown on that home-based business, because you said a lot that these college professors are not going to tell you.
So, in life, if you're working, whether you're working a job or you're an entrepreneur, your biggest bill is taxes. So, with that being said, the way that the system works, and when I say system, I mean the government, the way that they structured their system is to favor businesses. The employees are not favored at all. If you think about it, when you're working a job, they take your money first. And then at the end of the year, if they've taken too much,
They give it back.
they give it back. But they've taken your money, gave it to other people, loaned it out, they making tons of money. With the business, you get all your money first. And then at the end of the
You
year,
pay them.
if you owe.
Right.
But there's ways to where you have your deductions, and so you break even to where you ain't really gotta pay nothing. But that's our biggest bill. But with having a home-based business, and especially now with social media, there's ways to turn your lifestyle into a business, into a brand. So you write everything off, and with like me and you, we both have jobs,
Yeah.
right? So with me, they're taxing me 30%. Now with having a home-based business, I can get all of my money back on my check, right? They don't take no taxes out of my money. I have a Schedule C that I deduct everything off of at the end of the year. So say, just for instance, you're making $100,000. They take 30%. They're taking $30,000. Now I have all that money coming back to me that year. But they're saying, because they favor businesses, you have to invest in a business.
So with 2020, coronavirus, that's the big thing outside of police brutality, which I think is the biggest thing with black people. But how has 2020 been for you?
Man, 2020 has been a flourishing year for me. And I say this selfishly, man. And I
That's
always
cool.
say that selfishly because of the stock market. Everything dropped. I was able to buy everything at a lower price and then make money. But besides of that, with everything going on, man, it's like I'm aware of what's going on, but I try not to get myself so caught up into everything that's going on, because the media put it out there and it's all emotional driven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you get emotionally attached to it, that's all you think about every day. I don't want to think about that every day.
Heck no.
Like, I know what's going on, I'm aware of it, but bro, my life is good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got my kids, you feel me? I'm not struggling, like my life is good. But I'm aware of what's going on. But like I said, I look at it, I see what's going on. But for me, 2020 has been a good year, bro.
You ain't let it stop what
I
you
didn't let
had
it
going
stop me,
on.
bro. Because a lot of people, and I see it on social media a lot of people get so caught up into what's going on that they stop focusing on their life, their goals, and the execution of what it takes to get to the next level. Because they so focused on everything else that's going on. I don't want that to hinder me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be aware of it. I'll see it. I don't talk about it much because I don't do enough, even with politics. I don't do enough research about politics to have conversations about it. Now, if you want to talk to me about stock market and finances, we can have a conversation.
Facts.
But we're not going to have a conversation about politics because I don't research it that much to know Trump's policies.
Yeah.
All I know is these 4 years for the economy has been great. So selfishly, and I will always say that, selfishly, I need him another 4 years.
Boy, they gonna kill you.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, bro. It's okay, bro.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And it's cool, and I gotta co-sign what you saying because before he got elected, when he was doing his, his speeches or whatever, and talking about his plans for the economy, I was posting on Facebook like, I agree with the economy part, you know what I'm saying? Because though I do give him shit, I'll be like, okay, he went bankrupt, but
When you understand bankrupt, right?
exactly.
So, bankrupt, when you have a company, right? Say if you have an LLC, anything other than a sole proprietorship, right?
Yeah.
A LLC, a corporation, they're considered as his own entity, right? So if he build up enough debt or he's not making enough money with that entity, he can file bankrupt. It won't affect him, but it'll get the debt off of him based on that business.
Right.
So that's just business.
Yeah, it's business.
You know what I'm saying?
People don't know these definitions. So yeah.
Bad businessman.
Right, where it's like, nah, you do bankruptcy just to get that debt
Off
cleared.
of you, yeah.
I don't care for that dude, but I can't.
And I'll make this message too. I don't care for him. I don't care what he believe in. He has no morals. He's fucking disrespectful. All that.
Yeah.
But as far as the economy and what I'm focused on, selfishly, I need him another 4 years, bro.
I understand. Like, I get it. I do.
I need him another 4 years.
I only argue with people about Trump when they don't know what the hell they talking about. When they come down to them, I'm like, why do you want Trump to be in for another 4 years? They don't know. They don't know. So I'm like, oh, you just hate motherfuckers.
They going against it.
But
shock value.
Facts.
That's what it is.
But when you talk to somebody and they talk about the economy, that's with him where I'm like, and I'll be like, well, Barack started it, but I can't front and say he ain't took it and ran with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he says some of the shit he says, and it pisses me off. People are done did more for black people than any other president. And I'm like, I know what he's saying. I know what you're saying.
Even when he said that, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Right, he's talking about the economy. That's all he talks about. Like, he has no merit with us other than, like, look, if you're trying to go into business, I'm the president that you need. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all know we ain't supporting him, but
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not voting for Trump or I'm not voting for Biden. And I'm not voting for Biden for the simple fact that Biden said the stock market don't need me.
Yeah, that was ignorant as hell.
And then the motherfucker went around and said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Another ignorant comment, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
The whole system gotta change, yo. Cause I mean, it's old white men in their 70s that they detach from reality, man. Like, bro, Hillary was the same way, bro. Like,
they all the same way. All the same way.
Yeah,
that's why I will always say, until we create our own system, we don't have a leg to stand on, and we still depend on their system, bro. We need to create our own system, and what I mean by our own system is our own economic system.
Yes.
What we're lacking is the funding.
Yes.
They have the funding. We have the ideas. We work the hardest. We do everything. We just don't have the funding. We got to get the funding.
We do. I mean, and I always look at it like, man, we have black people that are millionaires. We don't have a lot of black billionaires.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And even with the black billionaires we have, you don't know how they're managing their money, for one, and what they're willing to invest in. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because they how can I put this? they have to tread on light waters, bro.
I'm starting to realize that.
They have to.
Yeah, I'm starting to see it.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta play both sides. They gotta play both sides. They can't just shit on that side, because that's where a lot of their money come from.
Right.
But they have to feel like they connected to us too, at the same time.
It's crazy. So how do
Wow.
how do we get around that part?
Bruh, I don't know. I think about it all the time, bro.
Right.
I
Me
don't
too. I drive
know,
myself crazy
bruh. I
because
don't know.
I was pissed at the NBA players, but then I was like, I get it. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I understand we don't have the financial freedom yet.
Oh, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because
And they should though.
they should.
They should,
definitely.
but they buy all these liabilities. They buy these big houses. They buy these expensive cars. They don't buy them cash, so they have payments. And payments, you can't make the same decisions you would make knowing that you got your livelihood based on these bunch of payments to where if you didn't have all these payments, you'll make different decisions.
I got
If you know you bought your house straight out, you own it, you ain't gotta make a payment, you'll make a different decision based on if you know you gotta make that payment every month.
Right. So
You gotta have money coming in to make that payment. So your decisions are different. So they're still enslaved by the things that they are acquiring. The luxurious things that they are acquiring, they're still enslaved by it. Because they're not paying cash for it. So you still got payments. And you gotta make them fucking payments. Because you don't own that house, the bank own that house until you pay it off. You own that car, the bank own that car until you pay it off. So
you can't boycott.
you can't boycott, bro.
Right.
You can't boycott.
You can't boycott.
You can't boycott, bro.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the answer to why they are playing today. They can't afford not to.
They can't.
So we know what happened to George Floyd.
Alright.
Man, they turned up for him.
They did.
They did, but
Something we never seen before.
we never seen it
Yeah.
in our lifetime at least.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what I thought, bro. I said, okay, this shit finna stop the world looking. The world looking, they can't start. They can't be tripping on us like this. The world watching them. It's not gonna look good. They was beating the wheels off the protesters.
funny.
and no, yeah, it ain't funny, but it's the truth. Because it's like, we're protesting police brutality and y'all are showing police
Y'all showing
brutality.
it, yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, this police shooting's gonna stop. And they killed the dude in Atlanta. And
And the Wendy's.
at the Wendy's.
Yeah.
And now Jacob Blake happened in Wisconsin. Is there ever gonna be a time, in your opinion, that we are not a target by the police? Like, I have my opinion on how we can stop it, but
Not in their system.
gotcha. Back to the system.
Yeah, it's their system, bro.
Yeah.
That's how it was designed. Like, this system started in slavery, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They started working on this system way back then.
Right.
And then it is what it is now. And it's going exactly the way they designed it.
Right.
To where we depend on them for everything. We are free. We have freedom. We're not enslaved anymore. But we still have to depend on them for mostly everything. They own all the companies, all the corporations. We have to get jobs from them. Unless you go out here and start your own. Like, they own the light companies, the electric companies.
Right.
We still have to depend on them. We're still in their system.
Do you feel like our age group, at least our generation, I feel like we're getting the ball moving in the right direction now, as far as like ownership, trying to learn about investing and all this type of stuff. Do you think we can get to that point where it's like, look, we have the political power, we have the money, we don't need y'all, leave us alone?
Not in the U.S.
Gotcha.
Not in the U.S. We can, cause they own all the land.
True.
Basically,
Yeah.
they own everything over here. Maybe we should go back to Africa. Yeah,
Yeah.
but in the U.S., this is theirs, bruh. They've taken this shit over.
Yeah.
They control this.
Everything.
This is theirs. So, not in the U.S. They're not gonna let it happen.
Unless
We can build our
revolt.
own economic systems, in certain cities, but overall, like, They're not gonna allow it to happen.
Nah, you right about that.
They're not gonna allow it.
See, I'm looking at the police unions, and I'm like, that's what we need to start. They don't need to be a police union, for real, because that's what they hide behind.
What do you mean by police union?
When these cops get locked up, I mean not locked up, but when they kill somebody, and let's say they get arrested, okay, they right back out. You know what I mean? Or they have this union that's gonna have them a lawyer. They're going to more than likely get off more times than none, and it's because of the police union letting them get all this overtime. They don't pay them as much as they probably should be
They
paid.
have huge pensions.
But the pensions is crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that whole structure of how things go for them. I'm like, yo, we gotta take the union down, or they hide behind that, bro.
Yeah.
They know they can get away with going out here and killing us because they fall on the script.
You gotta
feel
think
me?
about police though, man. You got police who want to be police. Half of the time, they ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Another profession. You feel me? So they get into that job making 30,000 a year, 35, maybe 40, maybe 40.
depending where you are.
You're
Yeah,
risking your life every day to make $40,000. Right?
yeah.
They don't get proper training.
6 months, right?
6 months of
weeks or
training,
something. Yeah,
something like that. A lot of times, there's no way to screen if somebody has the right, I would say, soft skills to be able to do that job.
Yeah.
Right?
the mentality.
It's
Yeah,
scary as hell. But being a police officer, just get a paycheck. You have authority, but you're scared.
which
don't
is
make
a
the right
lot of them.
decisions.
Yeah.
You don't make the right decisions. So what is that gonna lead to? A lot of bad decisions.
When you say that, I automatically think about Philando Castile, bro. Like, that dude was nervous as hell when he killed him, bro. He was standing there with that gun, freaking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really don't have they don't have a conscience when it comes to black people.
Nah, and I think the police forces don't know how to screen that yet.
Right.
They ain't done enough research to be able to screen who is the best candidate to come in here. A lot of times they need people, so they taking anybody.
Yeah.
You can come on, we'll take you. Go through police academy, we'll take you.
They go with gun.
Like, so what do you expect to come out of that?
Mess.
A bunch of mess, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's like an example. When somebody's trying to build a company, right? Like I take Amazon for instance. They trying to build a company, know what their goal is. They get it down to the science of the people and how to screen the people to get the best people to take them to the next level, right?
Yeah.
They don't just hire. It's a hard hiring process because they do so much screening to be able to determine who's the best candidate to take us to the next level. The police department you can just come in.
Yeah.
They don't do that. So it's a total difference. Like you're gonna get what we call in the industry the bottom of the barrel.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get the top notch. You're gonna get the bottom of the barrel.
Man, that's so wild.
A lot of times they done went to college. They got to college. They can't get a job where they got a degree in. The police department is paying $35,000, $40,000 a year. Let's just go do that.
Yeah. Go be a cop.
Let's go be a cop.
Go be a cop.
Let's just go be a cop.
And you know what? I think it was purposefully set up like this.
It probably was, bro.
Yeah.
It probably was.
Like purposely.
Because the government, with the capital that they have, with the people that they have working there, they could have came up with a process to screen people better to have the best candidates be police officers.
Yeah.
Not just anybody.
Yeah, even I think like setting up a test run with cops. Like, I'm gonna put you with somebody today and we're gonna have a makeshift situation happen.
See how you perform.
and see how you perform, and not tell them. You know, make sure that their gun is firing blanks
They
or
don't do none of
something.
that, bro.
They could do that. So
They don't,
yeah,
bro. It's just like in the manufacturing industry, we do a lot of audits
yeah,
just to see how the process is performing. You want to know if your process is in control or out of control. They don't do none of that.
no. And
So how do you ever know if your process is in control or out of control? You never know.
you just put them out there.
Put them out there.
Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's so crazy, man. Cause we ain't cops. We have no desire to be cops,
No.
and we can tell you how to police. That's crazy.
I don't say I can tell you how to police.
Well, we just told them how to hire
Yeah,
police.
how to hire.
Yeah,
But I can help you with that.
yeah,
I can help you with that.
right.
How to hire some people.
And y'all should probably reach out to the community and talk to people about
Right.
that. You know, like, hey, what processes do we need to go through?
Exactly.
And we can give y'all a crash course on how to police us, at least.
Especially in our communities.
You ain't
You know
lying.
what I'm saying?
Y'all have bad days just like we do.
And that's another thing.
Yeah.
It's a totally different. That shit's so deep, bro.
Yeah.
If I come in and work on a bad day, how do I know? How do you know I'm making the right decisions?
Exactly. You
If I'm
don't.
stressed out at home,
Yeah.
how do you know I'm making the right decisions as a police officer?
Pay them more so they don't have to work overtime. That'll eliminate stress. That'll make them more conscious. And then you can just start weeding out the racist ones. That'll be more simple. You'll be like, oh, you just a racist prick. We don't want you on the force.
Oh yeah, they and that's the thing. It's like they have certain systems in place. They have all the data they need, bro. They have all the data they need. They can tell who is pulling people over in certain communities, what race they are, what ages they are. They have all that data. They just don't do nothing with the data. It's just there.
Right.
So is this cop pulling over more people on the east side
Then the west
than
side.
the west side? They
Yeah.
can do all of that. They just don't do it.
Right. Can hire black people to do that.
They got all the analytics. It's there. They just don't do nothing with it.
Yeah, hire black people. We could definitely draw up contracts too, to where we can look at this information for you, because we're data driven. You know what I'm saying? So, man, all right. Looking forward, moving forward with investing in the stock market. Is this going to be something that you're like, you know, every month I'm putting a certain amount of money into this thing because look, I want to create generational wealth and I want my kids to do the same thing. Like, is this something that you in it for the long haul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something that it works, bro. If it didn't work, I wouldn't be doing it. And it took me a long time to really figure out what actually worked. Because before, you know what I'm saying, I was caught up in the day trading. I wanted the money fast. You know, anytime that you want the money fast is usually not the best way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once I found out that about the long term and all that, like, and I actually see the money growing, it's the best way, bro.
I feel that.
So yes, I will every month keep investing. Even my kids, bro. I got two little girls. They're 2.
Yeah.
They both know about investing because that's all they see me do. That's all they see me watch is investing.
You got some. You raising some. They gonna be ready. You raising some girls that's gonna be ready. They probably gonna have a little lemonade stand and be like, look, I know what to do with my money.
Yeah, we gonna make the money, man.
I feel that, bro. Well, look, we're gonna wrap this thing up. But if I have to tell anybody that's been following and supporting, episode 49 is the episode for us, for black people. We're talking about investments, talking about the not taking the easy route. Being educated, educating yourself. We all have a phone. Utilize it. Use it. It's a computer.
right quick. I tell everybody I invest in the stock market off of this. I rarely use a computer. It's all this right here. A phone, right? You can do it with a phone.
Simple. And like I said in the beginning, I told bro, I'm not doing another podcast episode until you get on here and talk. And he just gave y'all 45 minutes to an hour of free game that you're not gonna get nowhere else. So, as always, y'all know I love you. I want everybody to do great. Control your thoughts. We in some dire times right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people don't know what's gonna happen. Start investing in yourself. Mentally, physically, financially. Start doing it. That's something that I started doing this year. I feel better now than I have in a long time, just because I put more onus on myself. I took what I can do, and I'm trying to make it work for me. All right, so Tony, let us know where we can follow you on Instagram and on Facebook. Let us know your handle.
All right, so on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube is Building Wealth Academy. All Building Wealth Academy. So follow me. I put out videos weekly. Just trying to educate people on investing in the stock market, building credit, starting a home-based building, education on taxes, and then other streams of income. So follow me.
Cool, and y'all get at me on Instagram, MVC_streets, Facebook, Travis Streets Bethea, YouTube, MVC_streets. So until next time, y'all take it easy. I'm out.